Here's a question about Lethal Weapon. Okay, a sexy model lady, she's doing heroin. I thought she was doing cocaine because I used to watch this movie as a kid, but I guess she's doing heroin. And the heroin and the pills she's taking are, what's the term? Dosed. They're laced. They're dosed with poison.
Drain cleaner, they said, which is hilarious.
And then she commits suicide, but the amount of poison in her body means like she could have been murdered, but it's like
she died from suicide. She didn't get murdered. So why do they even say that part? I don't get it. And there's no way that that's heroin. You can't do lines of heroin like that. Like you're going to end up like the chick in Pulp Fiction. My question is, what is it with white women doing cocaine and jumping off balconies? That's like a trope. You got this lady, you got Jenny from Forrest Gump. I'm sure there's other examples. I don't understand why that's a thing.
Maybe it happened in the 80s and we didn't hear the story. Maybe there was like a Playboy model who jumped out. The only one I know of, coincidentally, he did the music for the movie, Eric Clapton. He was so high on cocaine, his son wandered out the window of the building in New York City and died.
How did he not get in trouble for that? Neglect or some sort of crime?
Well, he's a very famous rock star, so.
Oh, yes, I forgot.
That makes it okay, you know.
Was that Eric Clapton at the end of the movie? Was that his song?
I don't know, but he does the score for the movie. That's him playing guitar or something.
Okay.
He's a criminal's worst nightmare. A cop who enjoys the danger.
No guns, no jiu-jitsu, just bring him down.
Do you really want to jump? Well, then that's fine with me. Come on.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait a minute. What the...
He was ready to retire. Now, he's going to wish he had.
Gun! Oh!
Raj, meet your new partner.
New partner?
Too old for this. If these guys can just stand each other.
What you got in there?
4-inch Smith?
A lot of old timers carry those.
The bad guys don't stand a chance.
Don't kill anybody.
Don't kill anybody.
I'm too old for this. Are you as good as you say you are?
Nobody can touch me.
Suppose we better register you as a lethal weapon. You ever met anybody you didn't kill?
Well, I haven't killed you yet.
So, yeah, today's movie, Lethal Weapon, 1987, directed by Richard Donner, written by Shane Black. Shane Black, I said he wrote this in college, but I guess he wrote it after college. He wrote this script like right out of school. Everybody loved it. It got made into a movie very quickly, and then he was on his way. He also wrote Last Boy Scout, which is a good movie. He did not write the sequels to Lethal Weapon. They rejected his sequels. The thing I realized watching this movie for the first time in a long time, I realized I haven't seen it in a long time because I used to watch it a lot as a little kid. It was on cable all the time.
Sure.
This is what if Rambo was a cop. Mel Gibson is basically Rambo in this movie. He's a special forces. He's kind of crazy. He has trauma. He, gets tortured at the end. So does Danny Glover. But everybody in this movie is like a vet. Mel Gibson's, from Vietnam, but Danny Glover said, I think he implied that he's from Korean, like Korean War.
I could have sworn he said he was in the Drang or the Trang with his partner there, but I could be mistaken.
And what's that? What's the Drang?
Vietnam, definitely.
Early Vietnam, 65.
Could very well be, yes.
So everybody's a Vietnam vet in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
Gary
even the bad
Busey.
guys.
Even the bad guys. So
Yeah.
this is a very realistic, accurate depiction of being a police officer in Los Angeles.
Living on the beach, which is nice.
Living in your trailer.
Having a couple beers before work.
I remember like people in the 80s made a big deal about like, oh, Mel Gibson's ass is so cute in Lethal Weapon. Like girls would say that.
Yeah, my mom loved this movie because of Mel Gibson for sure.
But like, I'm not saying it's not attractive to women to have a guy who's like completely nuts like this, living, being a total suicidal psychopath. But he's basically living in squalor at the beginning. He's living in a trailer. He wakes up nude. The first thing he does is he shuffles bare ass naked across the room, and he opens the fridge and he starts chugging beers, smoking cigarettes.
He wakes up with the gun on the pillow, of course.
Yes, he wakes up with a gun on a pillow. He's got his dog. He's not doing so hot. His wife, his beautiful wife, died in a car accident, and he's not feeling good. And then we got Danny Glover. Now, Danny Glover's the family man. Now, when he's introduced in this movie, he's fully nude. He's in a bathtub. It's his birthday, and his whole family bursts into the bathroom to give him what, like a birthday cake or some shit or a present.
Yeah, birthday cake. I love a guy who takes a nice long bath in the morning before work. You don't see that anymore.
Fully nude.
Sudsed up.
He's got a beard, and they comment on his beard. They're like, makes you look older, makes you look more distinguished or something. So then he feels bad and he shaves it. And these are our two characters, Riggs and Murtaugh. Riggs being Mel Gibson, Murtaugh being Danny Glover. And these two men are they're our heroes of our story.
Danny Glover is unbelievably likable in this movie. Normally I like the bad guys in movies, but Danny Glover is just such a sweetheart.
Yes, apparently when these two actors got together for the first read through, the director said it was just like the best chemistry he's ever seen. They just have perfect chemistry, these two guys. And yeah, Danny Glover is super likable, and Mel Gibson is very compelling as this crazy, deranged cop who gets the job done. Okay, so he's buying what, a kilo of cocaine at a Christmas tree farm?
Yes, by himself, no backup, no radio,
Nope.
Nothing.
They never have backup. They never have any support. It's just like he's a narcotics cop. He goes there, he licks the cocaine off his knife, which I always loved as a kid. I thought that was so funny. Even as a kid watching this movie, like 4 years old, 5 years old, me and my brother, we knew this was not how the job was done. You cannot just lick cocaine off a knife.
Cops can't do drugs. I mean, they're not allowed. It's illegal.
And then there's a guy in the back of the truck who has a shotgun. So then now he has to kill everybody. He has a huge shootout. He rolls around the ground. He's shooting people. There's one guy with a horrible mullet that does he take a woman hostage, and then he basically runs up and he's like, shoot me, kill me. Like,
I don't remember them taking a woman's hostage. They take Mel Gibson hostage. He takes Mel Gibson hostage.
He takes Mel Gibson hostage. Right.
Yeah.
I watched this movie in 2 parts. So he takes Mel Gibson hostage, and then he's like, come on, shoot me, shoot the bad guy. Come on, kill me, kill the bad guy. Do it. And then he freaks out the drug dealer.
Takes the
And
gun
then-
from him.
And then and then after that, his narcotics agents buddies don't want to work with him anymore. They're like, this guy's nuts.
Too much of a loose cannon. Suicidal. He wants the what do they call it? Crazy pay or something, or the insanity pension.
Psycho pension.
Yeah, the psycho pension. That's what it was. So then he gets busted down to a lowly homicide detective. meets his new partner.
That's what happens. Okay, you just become a homicide detective.
One
And
small detail that I like about Riggs is that he wears cowboy boots through the entire movie, sprinting around in cowboy boots. I didn't know cops wore cowboy boots, but I guess they do.
so, To Live and Die in L.A., he wore cowboy boots.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Also, Dirty Harry wears cowboy boots.
Very good point.
Yeah, the screenwriter said he was mainly influenced by Dirty Harry, but it seems like this has First Blood all over it in terms of, I mean, even the hair. I mean, I know it's the 80s, but Riggs's hair, his mullet, that fucking 80s mullet that they all had, he looks like Rambo, kind of.
Yeah, totally. I didn't really think of that, but it makes sense.
So there's this woman, this blonde psychologist for the police department. She's complaining about Riggs. She's like, he's suicidal. He's too dangerous. You can't have him. She plays the reporter from Die Hard. She's the newscaster from Die Hard who's on location. And it's a different character, but this actress has such limited range. It feels like she's always playing the same character. And
she's the reporter from Die Hard. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
There's a blonde TV newscast reporter lady.
Oh, so she plays two roles. I just missed that.
She's not the same character in Lethal Weapon and Die Hard, but this actress is just always sounds the same, looks the same, acts the same. And then in Ricochet, she plays the same reporter from Die Hard. So that's a little.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Okay.
And that's pretty much her whole career. So
plain white lady.
The boss is like, I like him. I don't believe he's suicidal. That's a rumor. And then the night before that, we had watched Mel Gibson just like sucking on a gun.
That made me extremely uncomfortable.
I know, it's intense. He has a fucking gun. He's pulling back the hammer.
For some reason, he unloads. Oh, yes. Now I remember why. He unloads the gun, pulls the bullet out, and then puts another bullet into the chamber. But that must be that hollow point bullet that he talks about later in the movie, that he's got that one special bullet to make sure he kills himself with it.
I mean, he's really broken up over his wife who got killed in a car crash. Now, like I said, in Lethal Weapon 2, it's revealed that the South Africans were behind it. So that's a little retcon they have going on. But apparently they're responsible for a car crash. I couldn't watch Lethal Weapon 2 the last time I tried to watch it. It's ridiculous because it's like there's this thing that happens with these movies. It's in this movie and it's in FX. You got two guys, they hate each other. Then they become partners and then they start working together, right? And that's, a great story. But in the sequel, it's like now they're best friends and then they're just making jokes the whole time and they're like goofing around and it's so fake. This movie.
You need conflict to make a good movie. You have to have conflict.
You need conflict, but also it's just like you need an arc, okay? And then once you get rid of that arc of they hate each other, they love each other, then it just turns into some other shit where it's like now there's fucking Joe Pesci in the movie. There's fucking Rene Russo. They keep adding characters. Danny Glover just gets older. He gets more like, I'm too old for this shit, which I think he says like 3 times. So Mel Gibson, yeah, he's suicidal. He's sucking on his gun, wants to kill himself. But every day he finds a reason to live. And the reason is the job. And that's great.
He loves being a cop. I mean, he just loves being a cop, apparently.
He loves. Now, see, this is weird. Now, Does he love being a cop or does he love the intensity of being a cop? But he loves being a cop. He's like, I'm good.
He loves shooting people.
He is the best. And he also says he's the best at killing people. When he was in
Yeah.
Vietnam, he could like snipe guys better than anyone. When he's at the gun range, he's so good that he's able to shoot a smiley face into the target. And I love that scene. There are certain scenes from this movie, the jumping scene, the Christmas tree scene, the smiley face scene, and then the scene where he's tortured. Those scenes are just burned in my mind from when I was a little kid. Like I never forgot those scenes. Now the shit I forgot is everything about the villains, everything about this conspiracy. So this guy, he owns a bank, Tom Atkins, and that's his daughter that killed herself / murdered. Okay, the LAPD is like, we have to investigate this crime to the fullest extent. Well, I mean, I guess he knows him. Danny Glover knows the guy or something.
Yeah.
So, but still, they're investigating this. But in the meantime, they go on calls. You know, there's a rooftop jumper. We see more psycho Mel Gibson. And this is a big bonding moment between him and Danny Glover. You know, Danny Glover's like, I don't know. I don't want you smoking in my car. I don't want you doing this. I don't want you doing that. I don't like you. But then after this jumping scene where Mel Gibson handcuffs himself to the suicidal guy and they jump off a roof. And then it's revealed there's a giant inflatable mattress. So it seemed like kind of low risk. But anyway,
somehow the guy who was jumping didn't see that. He missed that whole thing down there below. I guess he just overlooked it. One thing I didn't understand too that happened in that same area is when Murtaugh gets home and he has the mail and he opens the one package for happy birthday, and then he opens the other package that has the videotape and the yearbook in it. Who sent him that? And what's the point? We already know she's a 22-year-old prostitute. She's the dude's son. So who are they trying to say mailed him that information? And why did they?
Also in that scene, they make a big deal about her close up in the yearbook, and you see she has a sister.
Yeah. Who they never talk about again, other than
they never talk about again.
Yeah, the bank owner guy says she had a sister and you can't protect her and blah 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 blah. But that's it.
So I guess that's the cop should send to him. Hey, here's some evidence. Here's her naked in a shower. Watch this video.
Yeah. You think it was another cop sent it to him? As evidence of what? That she was alive?
Well, it's a police evidence folder envelope. I don't think Tom Atkins did it. I don't think Gary Sinise or Gary Busey did it. So I'm assuming it's just the cops are like, hey, here you go. Here's some evidence, mail.
Okay.
There's two pieces of evidence. Then you have like a little scene where she's like naked.
Yeah, in the shower. I guess she was talking about the father was talking about how she was getting into porn and he wanted help getting her out of that world and blah blah blah.
So
I guess she got a little too deep.
Which leads to the next big action scene after the rooftop thing. They go to a porn guy's house, kind of like a Playboy mansion in Hollywood Hills place. And then there are two women. They're like, we don't need a warrant. See, they let us in. And then like, we got invited. There's like a woman on a bike. She's like, hey, come in, guys. Party's back there.
Yeah, he says, I think that's probable cause when he sees him through the window with a bunch of blow.
Yeah, they're just
I guess it could be heroin, but I'm pretty sure it was coke.
It looks like everything they treat it like coke. It's like they've never seen heroin before. And this scene, this is where they really start to bond. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, they're getting along. They're best buds.
He saves his life.
He saves his life. There's a guy in really flashy pants with a shotgun who immediately tries to shoot Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Or Mel Gibson. Danny Glover shoots him in the leg and he's like, see, you shoot him in the leg. That's good. You don't kill him. And then the guy pulls out a second gun and then Mel Gibson shoots him in the chest a bunch of times. And then the guy falls in a swimming pool with a cover on it. And he's just like thrashing around. And then It's a cool looking scene. It's like, this is cool 80s LA, but it's just a guy
Da-
thrashing around dead. Oh,
Danny
his
Glover
eyes.
shoots him in the leg, and he falls down onto the ground. Danny Glover's got the gun on him. Makes no attempt to handcuff him or give him orders or anything. He just lets him get back up and wrestle around with Mel Gibson and almost get shot.
Never.
Just crack
Think of it.
police work in this movie. I mean, they're real professionals.
Think of every police activity video you've ever seen where it's like 9 cops with guns just
Yeah.
screaming like,
Yeah.
fuck it, like, don't you fucking move, don't you fucking move. And with like so many guns, put your fucking hands up, don't you
Yeah.
fucking touch anything. Like, can you imagine if they're just joking around and talking?
That's my
And they
favorite
got-
thing that cops do is they say, "Don't move, put your hands up." Well, which is it? Do you want me to not move, or am I supposed to put my hands up? I think that's kind of confusing. And also having all 5 cops scream at you at the same time is also confusing.
That happened to me in Oakland once. I was just walking to school at night and I had my hoodie on. I'm just walking in Emeryville, right by the train tracks across. There's a way to cross the train tracks. I forget, like a thing you walk over. And then just like a cop car pulls up, 2 guys jump out, guns pointed, like, what are you
Holy
doing?
shit.
Nothing. I'm just walking. And they're like, oh, he's white. And they just like drove away. But yeah, it's super intense, of course. So
What were they hoping to figure out at that house? What were they hoping to do?
that was her sugar daddy.
Oh,
That's her-
right.
that's
He
her-
paid for the apartment.
That's the
Ev-
pimp. That's the guy who pays for everything, makes the videotapes, the porn.
The guy with the shotgun was the actual boss dude. He wasn't some underling.
That is his house.
The guy
That
with the
is-
shotgun.
I didn't.
Okay.
I know.
That
See,
doesn't
like,
make any sense. I thought he was like a security or something, or I didn't make any sense.
No,
Right.
the
So
mu-
he owns the house. He dies. They don't get any information out of him. Okay, I get it.
now these low-level drug dealer pimp guys, they don't have homes in the Hollywood Hills.
Hell no.
They're just dudes in an apartment.
Oh.
He should be the guy who owns the apartment. He should be living at the apartment that she jumped out of.
Right. Yeah.
He should have a Scarface poster. He should have his, his hat and shoe collection.
Maybe a fancy
I-
fish tank.
Oh, gotta have the fish tank. The fish tank is very important. Okay. Especially in the 80s. In an 80s movie, it's like, were fish tanks a thing before the 80s?
I'm not sure. I get maybe
Because like
the 70s.
I've been watching a bunch of cop movies, 80s movies. And the fish tank thing that's a big thing. The glass bricks is a big thing. And it just seems like that no one had the fish tank before. Naked Gun, great fish tank scene. The pen kills the
Maybe
fish.
it was hard to make acrylic tanks or something, or I'm not sure. Maybe the adhesives weren't there yet. I'm not sure.
When did fish tanks get popular? Was the 80s a boom time?
I guess so. Makes sense.
I mean, it's one of those things where everybody always did it. I'm reading on Reddit. It's like, actually, it's been going on since 1000 BC.
Yeah, since early Victorian England.
So like a fucking caveman had a nice fish tank and
Probably had a pond,
sweet weed
little pond.
and some little rolling joints, for his lady. Gotta have your tunes. Probably had some sweet music.
That's funny.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. So I like after they kill this guy in the swimming pool, they almost die. Riggs is watching football, and then Murtaugh's like, come on, let's get a bite to eat. It's like, all right, let's go. Let's go have dinner. Police work is done.
We killed our guy for the day.
He's dead.
Left 2 women handcuffed to a tree.
One of the women is kind of famous. Her name is Joan Severance. She's in a little movie called Black Scorpion, which was a 90s straight to video superhero movie I used to watch because she has sex a lot. That's
Oh,
like her big.
nice.
Yeah, she's a softcore thriller type actress. So I was hoping she had a line, but she had no lines. So at this dinner scene, now Riggs comes over to Bertow's. He's having some home cooking. What's his deal with the house being under construction? Is that
House
just
being-
like there's
I
like
missed that. What-
holes? There's like a hole in the kitchen. There's like things are kind of fucked up in the house. It's like he was I guess he's remodeling. Is that a thing cops do? It's like, or is that just like a thing about like being middle class? Like, hey, we got the house, we got the boat, we're gonna remodel the kitchen, we're gonna put
Yeah, you
new.
want to become upper middle class with your money. Yeah, that makes sense. You're
So
middle
that's-
class, but he's a detective now, so he's making better money. Time to upgrade the house, keep the wife happy.
Do detectives make good money?
Bro, I think cops make like $100,000, and then they make more as detective, way more.
California cops make a lot.
Yeah. LAPD detective, yeah, I'm sure they make quite a bit.
Average annual salary for a homicide detective in Los Angeles is $65,000 a year.
No way, bullshit.
They all
They're-
are rich.
65 or 165?
That's what I'm reading online. See now here's is there a lower tier detective besides homicide, narcotics?
Robberies.
Is there just like, step up above patrolman? Is there like, what's a sergeant? You always hear the term sergeant. What is a sergeant? He's like middle management.
Sergeant is one above corporal, I believe. Under lieutenant.
Under lieutenant. Yeah, lieutenant's big. Lieutenant usually runs a department in these movies. They need to make a fucking cop movie where someone just asks all these questions.
There's no way any LAPD cop is making 65 grand. 165 grand is closer, but there's no way they're making 3250. Come on, that's just ridiculous.
Every single thing shot in LA, every commercial, every music video, every TV show, every movie, there is a cop, at least one cop on set at all times. If you're shooting outdoors on location, you have to pay them. And that's just like pure weekend. I don't know if it's overtime. No, it is overtime because it is the duty of being a police officer or something. Like you have to
It's not-
fucking.
Are they off duty or they're like in uniform?
They're in uniform. They're on duty. They're real
that's gotta
cops.
That's got to be overtime.
Yeah, and they're just sitting around and they're like, "How's it going?" They got like coffee, and they
Is
got
it like a
big,
union thing or something that requires them to be there, or what's that all about? Why do you always have to have a cop on set?
I guess like so many bad things have happened in the movie industry at this point where they just think it's like you have to do it. It could be a law too. It could be a regulation in California, but it's
Part
like
of the permitting process or something.
if you're going to be on the street and you're going to be, this is what they do. They take over a whole fucking street. They close it down or they have trucks come in. They're taking parking spots. So I guess they're there to make sure like the traffic, they're following the traffic permit. So like, because what you're doing is you're basically taking over public space when you do a shoot. You're shooting on the sidewalk. Well, that's like a thing. You get someone like
You have to have some sort of authority to close that down. You can't just go, "Hey, we're closing this down." Maybe the cop provides the authority to, "Hey,
exactly."
stop."
And
Yeah.
I remember one time in San Francisco, I went on a date with a girl, and I told her like, "There's no parking right where we used to live." So there's
Right, of course.
I told her like, "Park in my dad's driveway," and then she got a ticket for parking in the driveway.
Yeah, shit.
Because I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I felt so bad, and I really did not like her, and she was like 6'1".
Holy shit!
I didn't realize, when you don't realize that.
Yeah, did you meet her online or something?
Yeah. And you're just
So
like,
you
yeah,
can't tell by
sure,
the
come over.
pictures, Yeah.
And then you're like, oh wait, she was 6'1".
Jesus Christ.
And it gets out the car. You're like, oh. And then she has a ticket.
It's too bad she couldn't fight that ticket in court somehow, or you think there'd be some sort of recourse.
Sorry. Whoops. But yeah, like if you can't even park your car in your driveway at your house.
I think. Well, she was probably technically blocking the sidewalk, right?
Correct. And
She was not all the way into the driveway.
A person in a wheelchair.
Well, what are they gonna do?
Go in the street, get run over, die.
Got to be careful with those differently abled people.
So cops, I mean, come on. I knew a guy who was captain of the Santa Clara Police, and he was making like 400,000 a year or something.
Yeah,
There's all these guys. They have huge pensions. They make a ton of money. If they can retire, if nothing bad happens.
And not only do they make the overtime money, a lot of high-end security will hire off-duty cops because cops can always carry a gun, and they're always cops. Even when they're off, they can still make arrests. They can carry a gun. They can carry a badge. So they get hired for a lot of high-end security work, and I mean, I'm sure they can name their price for that.
Like what? Working at a bar? Working at a club?
Or for a club, or maybe like a concert or something, or some sort of, I don't know what type of meeting you would talk about, but those types of things. Like a high-end event, and then you need security for that event. You hire off-duty cops.
Like
it's a very common thing.
Like a gay orgy and
exactly. You don't want people in. You gotta have very strict security.
Like there's this thing on Howard Stern they talked about called Fist Fest. It's like a real thing in San Francisco.
Sure.
I wonder if they have any off-duty cops. I'm sure they do.
Makes sense. Gotta have security. You don't want people double fisting, or I don't know what's not allowed there.
Causing a ruckus. So at this dinner, they're bonding. But it turns out Murtaugh's daughter finds Riggs to be very cute, and she's giving him the eye. And everybody notices. The little kids start rapping about it. You get to see Danny Glover do his rap, and he's not any good. This is a very early rap in cinema moment. This is important. This is the beginning of like, hey, rap sucks. I'm old. I can't rap.
I don't want to hear that racket.
Yeah. It just pissed people off, I guess. People hated rap music in the 80s. What the fuck is this? They liked Al Green. They liked Earth, Wind, and Fire. And then now we have rapping. There's something about it that just like really, I remember like people hated it.
We're talking all races here?
Well, I mean, I just know a lot of adults, not everybody, of course, but like I remember a lot of adults being like, they used to call it like,
the generation gap. We're talking about.
They call it crap.
Yeah. They try to regulate it with all the little stickers and such. Yeah, okay, I remember all that.
These are just, was there a criminal element? Sure. But that's cool,
You see now they're crazy criminals doing hella types of stuff. Murder, drug trafficking, which I'm sure they were doing back then, but it seems like it's way more part of the culture now than it was.
Drill rap.
Yeah, you see Young Thug on trial and all these people.
I don't think they make a lot of. I think that's the best way to make money is to just sell drugs.
I guess so. You're not making money off album sales anymore, so you really only have your live shows is how you make your money, and you can only tour so much.
Now, this may shock you, but I've worked in the music video industry. There are rumors and gossip about rap videos where people have said sometimes the rappers don't like to come out of their trailer, or they don't like to show up on time, or they get angry and they just want to change the whole idea at like the last minute, or they're just like, They just smoke weed all day in their trailer and they'll refuse to come out and they'll be like, I'm not ready.
Hell yes.
And this is like, people say this is like every rap video ever made. There is
The
just
prima
no,
donnas.
there's just, they don't want to make the video because the video's corny. The video's made by white guys. You know,
You're probably not going to make a bunch of money off the videos anymore unless you get 1 billion views, right?
No, it's in their they have to pay for the video out of their contract. Like they don't get paid until their video budgets are paid back, their recording studio budgets are paid back, all promotional materials have to be paid back before they ever get paid.
The old indentured servitude method.
Yes, I remember I saw on Twitter Creation, she was tweeting about how she's still like $8 million in the hole for her album. You know, I say, look, if you're gonna rap, put some effort into the dang video. You're paying for it anyway. You don't want to pay for that overtime to that cop. You don't want him to make double overtime. I mean, that's outrageous. That's what's going on.
Being a rapper and putting money in a cop's pocket is not keeping it real.
No. So have a plan, make the video. Honestly, now they don't even make, I mean, do they make videos? Everything is world.
I don't watch them. I don't know.
Everything's World Star. I'm sure they just make it themselves. It's just like a music video now is probably a glorified form of TikTok or Instagram or, YouTube or Reels. It's just social media. So
SoundCloud or something.
Yeah, you're a SoundCloud rapper and your videos come out on TikTok and fucking World Star and you're dealing drugs and you have guns and you die and you're 14 years old and it's just, that's really cool. You gotta have the face tattoo. It's like they kept pushing the envelope of being crazier and crazier and more violent and more self-destructive to the point where it's just not even, there's nothing you can do to stick out.
Yeah.
I guess you have to be like Ice Spice and just have like a giant ass. And then now hey, this is a unique artist.
No, I mean, if you're a girl, yeah, maybe that's why there's more of a rise in female rappers now than there ever has been.
Or you can be like Kanye and you're like, I'm a Nazi.
Yeah.
That's
he already made his money. He ain't making album money like he used to.
No, he's selling his clothes. Yeah, his music is horrible.
He made all his money off of like sponsorship, basically, right? The Adidas sponsorship and the whatever deals he was making.
Merch. It's all about merch. It's like you can, and it is, what is cocaine if not merch?
Yeah, it's a very good point.
And then in this, so Lethal Weapon, let's get back to it. So Tom Atkins.
Having dinner, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, the dinner scene, they're flirting.
Complaining about the wife's food. Both of them say it's no good.
They must have done something like shoot this with like 2 or 3 cameras because they're just going back and forth. Danny Glover and I guess here's the thing, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson are just good actors. Like they can be in normal movies. They don't have to be in action movies. You don't get this with like your modern day action movie. You don't get these characters. And it's like they're not even doing anything that big. It's just a very subtle thing. Like they look and feel like their characters in every scene. It's like, that looks like a dad.
Oh, totally. That's like I said, they got me with Danny Glover being so likable.
That looks like a crazy psychopath, Rambo, special forces, police officer who wears cowboy boots, drinks beer, and ignores his dog 18 hours a day. So yeah, the daughter's flirting with him. There's a scene in Loaded Weapon 1 with Emilio Estevez that I really like where they make fun of the scene and everybody's flirting with the Mel Gibson character, including the dog. The family dog puts its hand on his dick and he's like, whoa.
In one of the other Lethal Weapons, he ends up dating the daughter, right?
I don't know.
I could have sworn that was the case.
Probably. Maybe there's something about it in 2 or something. I know in the second one she makes a condom commercial.
Nice.
And everybody gives them condoms. So then there's a scene with them on a boat, and it's like, this guy's got a boat. How rich is he? It's nerve wracking watching this movie and living in LA now, because it's like, that's $1 million house, a boat, super expensive. These movies, they really, it used to be like aspirational to be like, oh, wow, look at this. Look at Scarface. He has all that shit. Now I'm watching an 80s movie about a cop, and I'm like, damn, this cop has it so fucking good.
He's got a single family residence, not living in an apartment. Oh my God, he's got it made.
He's got a boat.
He's balling.
He doesn't even know how to use his boat.
He's got a broken boat in the driveway.
Hey, how's it go? Oh man, my boat.
And it was so funny having him work on the boat. He just got like a wrench in his hand, pretending like he's working on the boat. I thought that was so funny. It was like banging on it with the wrench, and then it starts up. Oh, I fixed this. As they drink beers, and then Mel Gibson drives home.
I love that part. And then the daughter, she says she likes to smoke pot.
Yeah.
And she's mad because she's grounded. What? Can you tell what age she was?
What age she actually is, or she's supposed to be?
But supposed to be.
I was thinking like 19, 20.
Yeah. Well, she said I could drink beers at home, and he said that's legal. So I guess she's 21. But she looks like she could be in high school at first.
Yeah,
like,
she looks
I don't
way younger.
So it's weird. Her and Danny Glover are only 14 years apart in real life.
Oh, wow.
So Danny Glover's 41 in this movie. He's supposed to be playing 50.
Uh-huh.
And she's like 27.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, she definitely don't look 27.
That actress is 63 years old right now.
Holy shit. Is she still fine?
She's, she's looking pretty good. Danny Glover's still alive. He's 77.
Yeah, I saw that.
And how old is Mel Gibson? Like 67. Damn. So Mel Gibson's only like 4 years older than her. He's pretty young in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. 30, 31.
This is right after Mad Max.
Definitely after Road Warrior.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I should have meant after the Mad Max series.
He was in Mad Max. He probably did Beyond Thunderdome right after this. God, this guy, I mean, it's crazy because he's such a pariah now. He was such a big star, and he was such a good actor. So
the director,
great filmmaker. Yeah. He's in a lot of shit that no one remembers. So he's in this movie. He's in Road Warrior 81. He's in The Year of Living Dangerously, which people still kind of talk about. Oh, he's in The Bounty. That's a kind of cool movie. That's about a clipper ship or whatever, or like fed up with their captain's harsh discipline, a sailing ship's crew decides to take action.
Oh, the HMS Bounty. The name of the ship is the Bounty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I know that story. So
Daniel Day-Lewis is in that. So he's making like serious movies, and then he's in a thing called The River, Mrs. Soffel. I don't know what the fuck that is. And then Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 85.
After, okay.
Then Lethal Weapon, then Tequila Sunrise, Lethal Weapon 2. So then he starts doing more action shit for a while, but he was a pretty serious actor. Although I guess being in Mad Max and Road Warrior, it was already there from the start. That's nuts. He's only like 31 in this movie. He looks so old.
He does.
But then it turns out this dude who owns the bank, Tom Atkins, he's part of this conspiracy, and he confesses and tells the whole thing to Danny Glover. Danny Glover's like, "Come on, man, tell me what's going on. Come on. You were going to tell me, then you changed your mind at the last minute." So this banker, he's part of a massive conspiracy involving special forces. They import heroin from Vietnam because they were in Vietnam. This is kind of like the Frank Lucas thing where, so I guess, yeah, soldiers were importing heroin into America for a while.
He was talking about Air America. Air America was the CIA's front company for flying shit around the world, right?
Right. Okay. So they import heroin. and they've been able to get away with it for a really long time, except the moment this is what happened. This guy, the banker, was going to talk to the cops. Then he hadn't talked to them yet. So what they did was they drugged his chick, his daughter, and she jumped off a building. She died, committed suicide. And then he got scared and changed his mind and wasn't going to talk to them. But this is what it's like. You killed this dude's daughter. This led to police activity, police investigation. Now the whole conspiracy is wide open. You had gotten away with this for a very long time with no problems. I mean, you have guns, you're hiring mercenary soldiers, you're killing people, but you never had no one ever investigated.
Why kill the daughter?
Yeah, it seemed.
What could she have possibly done that fucked it up? She's just a dope fiend prostitute. I don't think she saw anything or was going to say anything.
What did you kill the guy who was going to talk to the cops?
Duh. I don't, well, they do. I thought Danny Glover was going to arrest him after that, but he's just like, oh, he's like disappointed that his buddy is drug trafficker.
Heroin.
Shadow company. Oh my.
Oh man, you a banker. The guy drinks eggnog and then is shot through the back by Gary Busey.
An incredibly difficult shot, but whatever.
Helicopter?
Yeah, out of a moving helicopter. They did that same thing in Sniper, remember? And that was like, whoa. They were like so impressed when the dude made that shot from the helicopter because it's ridiculously difficult.
It's funny. This is when the movies start. The action in this movie is not nearly as good as the character stuff. The action in this movie is like you said, it's so difficult and they just act like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no big deal.
Oh, the police don't notice that a helicopter flew into LA, or they don't
they can't
follow it.
They can't track a helicopter.
Yeah, nothing. Not
the
possible.
LAPD doesn't have a squad of helicopters that just fly around the city 24 hours a day. No, they can't follow other helicopters, figure things out.
They got to do traffic.
Well, they know who did it. Now they know the whole conspiracy.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like I skipped over something, but who cares?
We skipped over the scene where you first meet the general and all his crew, and Gary Busey burns his arm. It's sort of stupid.
Burns his arm a very long time, and it seems like that would cause
loyalty
to prove he's so tough he doesn't complain.
Oh, that's what he's doing. Yeah, okay.
There's a guy in that scene I love. It's what's his face? He's playing like a Mexican in that movie.
The guy that went to meet him, Mr. Mendez.
Edo Ross. Yeah, that actor rules. He's in The Hidden. He's in Dick Tracy. He's in Red Heat. Universal Soldier. This guy, he has a great face. He has like these hangdog eyes. Damn, he looks like he did a lot of video games. He's in Action Jackson.
Oh, nice.
He's in Full Metal Jacket.
Who does he play in that?
Lieutenant Touchdown. He's get some. Okay, so that guy with the hangdog eyes.
Yes.
Who's saying Get Some in Full Metal Jacket? He was going to play Gunnery Sergeant.
Oh, that guy, the guy in the says you just lead him more.
Yeah.
He was going to be Captain Willard, right? Yeah.
No, not Captain Willard. He was going to be the guy in Full Metal Jacket, not Apocalypse Now. He was going to be
shit. Yeah.
He's going to be the drill instructor.
Yes.
And what happened was Arlie Ermy, he was going to be he was going to train him. He was going to like tell him like, this is how you act. Cause he really did it. He was going to say, you say all this shit. Now I remember when you saw Full Metal Jacket, you said like, he says all the same shit from Officer and a Gentleman. Arlie Ermy was also consultant on Officer and the Gentleman. So that's just, so he just says he did the job. So he knew what to do. So he would just tell them what lines to say. Right. Well, when he realized Stanley Kubrick was making the movie, he said, I'm gonna steal the job. I'm gonna get hired. And what he did was he shot a videotape where he was tied to a pole with ropes, and then he was shouting all his lines like, "You maggots," you know.
Why was he tied
All
to a pole?
he
I don't
said
get
all
it.
this. He was saying all his lines, all you maggots, you mother, all the gay slurs, all his crazy rhymes, all the shit he yells, all his insults, his whole routine, while people off screen were throwing tennis balls at him.
What the
And
fuck?
this impressed Stanley Kubrick so much that he said, "You're going to play that character in the movie. You are now essentially the most memorable actor in the
Oh
entire
yeah.
film.
Yeah.
You have blown away every other actor I've ever seen. You are now like in the movie." That movie had an audition process where people sent in videotapes for years, and everybody sent in a videotape, and that's how everybody got hired. Matthew Modine, Vincent D'Onofrio, and it's pretty amazing that guy was able to squeeze his way in there, sneak in, take over.
The other guy that he replaced was also a Marine, though, too, right? He actually had experience. Just Arlie Emery clearly had more experience.
I mean, he was actually a drill instructor, so he knew
Oh,
what to
okay.
say.
All right. Oh.
So, oh, shit, where is my Lethal Weapon notes? Okay, so yeah, Gary Busey lights his arm on fire. That's impressive. Guy gets shot through the eggnog, and then this becomes a big thing where they kidnap the daughter. There's a helicopter scene. There's like hostage negotiations. They're meeting in
Again
the
with the no
desert.
backup. Yeah, yeah.
Euro backup.
Yeah.
They don't call the DEA.
They drive a station wagon to meet a convoy of 3 vehicles and a helicopter, and just nobody notices this. They did Victorville.
What
There's
about
no
Mel Gibson getting shot with a shotgun and surviving with body armor?
Yes, you'd have to be a perfect. You'd have to perfectly make that shot because I mean and whatever they were using there, it wasn't bird shot. It wasn't a slug. There was no way you'd make that shot without blowing your arms and face off. It's not buckshot they're using.
So there's also a scene where this is the scene we skipped over. They visit the witness from the girl killing herself, this hooker named Dixie.
Yes.
They go to her house, and then they're like, the house blows up. There's little kids, and there's like a little kid. They're witnesses. And there's a funny part where they're like, "Oh, you're a cop? Do you shoot black people?" Awkward. Oh,
Yeah.
you want some ice cream?
Yeah.
And the kid's like, "Yeah, ice cream. We want ice cream."
Another thing I noticed about that scene is he's really nice to the kid, and then once immediately after the kid gives him the information, he just walks away. No, thank you. No, oh, okay, good job, kid. He says, okay, yeah, we got the guy. We got to go.
Got to keep moving, man. Got to keep moving the movie.
Yeah.
So,
and what was the implication behind the house blowing up? Was it that someone was watching the house, and as they walked up the house, they blew it up, or it was just timed perfectly that when they got there, it happened to blow up?
timed perfectly. And
Yeah,
it turns out
that's hilarious.
So this is another huge plot hole in the movie, or something not believable. This woman, this prostitute Dixie, couldn't you just kill her with like, just give her free heroin and she'll die? She'll just OD. Just OD. Give her a hot shot. Like, they have professional military level bombs, mercury charged bombs that blow up this house, like blow every fucking board of the house apart in public. That's going to attract attention. That's clearly murder. You could just shoot her. You could just hire her. Then Grim Sleeper just killed prostitutes in the alleyways of LA and they didn't do anything.
Yeah. Well, Dixie's white, though. Grim Sleeper killed mostly black women.
We never see Dixie. This is a weird character.
We see Dixie at the beginning of the movie.
Is she in that scene?
Yeah, yeah. Remember she says she's going to give a statement, and then he says that line, all dressed up and no one to blow.
God, I don't remember that at all.
Danny Glover says that to her. He's like, oh, all dressed up and no one to blow. And then they like take her downtown or something. But yeah, you see Dixie at the beginning.
I guess I didn't really pay attention the first like 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, it was a very small part.
Let me take a look at this real fast. Okay, she jumps
House
off.
blows
She's
up.
topless. There's Danny Glover. There's Mel Gibson.
It's the next day when he gets to the scene when Danny Glover gets
There's
called
an
to the
old
scene.
man. Oh yeah, there's Dixie. Oh yeah, she's we got a hooker.
Yeah.
She's got hooker clothes. Oh, that's Joan Severance. Right?
Who's Joan Severance?
No,
the
it's not
actress?
Joan. No, that's not Joan Severance. Oh yeah, Dixie. She's like stumbling.
Super skinny.
She lives in South Central in a nice little 1-bedroom home.
I guess so.
Doing all right for herself, except for the bomb that blew everything apart. So there's this. We see the Chinese guy from Die Hard. I like that he gets to talk in this movie because he's got that long hair. He's balding on top. He has that like Fu Manchu kind of look.
Sure.
He's from LA. He's not from China. So a lot of movies try to imply that he's a, foreign national or something.
He does karate or kung fu in some movie too. I can't remember which one. Like maybe a Jackie Chan movie or something.
I think in Rapid Fire he might. I don't know. Speaking of karate, the whole movie, after this exhausting, I mean, there's so many plot holes in the last 20 minutes. It's not even worth discussing. Like they're in Victorville, then they're in a torture chamber. It turns out the torture chamber is in Hollywood Boulevard. Then they're in Silver Lake. Then they're in the suburbs. And then they're going here and there. And it makes no sense. People are getting shot. Cars are getting stolen. People are chasing each other. They kill the bad guy with grenades. He just blows up. I like that scene because you can see the Pussycat Theater in the background, one of the old porn theaters of LA. So this all leads to a big climatic mano-a-mano to a cop and a bad guy fist fighting in the front lawn. And now the backup shows up, but Danny Glover's like, hey, don't, come on.
This is Riggs' arrest.
Let them do it themselves. And this
Sergeant Riggs is in charge until the watch commander gets there.
Could you imagine this in real life? If like a cop just was like, come on, let's fight. And then he like beat.
That's my dream, but it would never happen.
He beat a criminal near death. And then as he's about to kill him, he's like, no, you're not worth it.
It's not worth it. One other huge plot hole that I thought from earlier is when Riggs is getting tortured and they're torturing Murtaugh. The
With
point
water.
is they want to find water in a battery.
They want to know how much he knows. How much he knows.
Okay, so let's just say they know everything. You just change the location of the drop, right? I mean, that's the only big information they know. And why are you keeping them alive? What is the point of torturing them? Just kill them. Then all that information is gone. Do they think if they like torture them really hard, they're not going to tell their police buddies or something? It just doesn't make any sense.
They don't have access to helicopters. They can't land a helicopter and take a shipment. Well, I guess here's the thing about a shipment. Okay. They're riding on a commercial shipping boat.
Right. Sea container.
You can't change. Oh, it's not coming to the port of Long Beach. Right. You got to call them and go like, hey, take your shipment to Oakland.
Yeah.
They're like, what? We have like cars and we have tons of shipping containers. There's like trains are going to pick up trucks. No, they immediately put it on a truck bed and then it dries off.
Yeah.
We can't just send your drug somewhere else. This is why the Asian drug trade clearly failed. The Mexican border is so much less secure.
Yeah, totally.
You can go there's 3 states that you can go through: California, Arizona, and Texas.
Hundreds of miles of unmonitored border.
And
you can tunnel under, fly over.
They do the brilliant thing. This is the brilliant thing they do. In Mexico, they get like guys who've never done this before, and they tell them like, "We'll give you like a kilo. You just drive it. You go to a Walmart parking lot. You get out the car, and that's it. No big deal. We'll pay you like thousands of dollars." So those guys do that, but then they tip them off, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that guy has drugs." So they arrest them instead of arresting the trailer truck or whatever
Sure.
filled with drugs or the hundreds of kilos. Those get through. I just love this idea of a cop fighting a man to death, mano a mano, and it being like a respectful, beautiful thing. Like,
And you remember when Gary Busey is like almost drowning him, and he's like, "Oh no, Murtaugh, just stay back. I got this. Like, come on." And Murtaugh's like, "Oh, let me get in there. Let me do him." He's like, "No, I got this."
what if George Floyd was able to wiggle his way out of Derek Chauvin's hold and then get him down into a puddle and start to drown him, and his backup's like, "Wants to step in?"
Yeah, the
You
three
need
other
help?
dudes that were standing there in that situation that
Yeah,
also got charged.
You need help?
No,
let
I
him.
got this.
It's like, yeah, the cop is going to win. I'm assuming the cop is more violent and strong than the criminal most
Should
of the
be.
time. I mean, there's always like crazy videos, but your average tweaker or your average, meth, yeah, just drug addict, fentanyl addict, like, yeah, a cop's just going to beat the shit out of them.
Especially with the 20 cops making the circle around them for them to fight in underneath the exploded fire hydrant. I
Also,
think they may have jumped in that situation.
and didn't Mel Gibson drive his car into Danny Glover's house?
They drive a police car drives into the house, and then you see that the gas pedal is held in place with a nightstick.
And that's all cool.
Yeah, they don't really go over that later, how they're gonna fix that, or who would pay for that, or what was the point of that.
Surprise, bitch.
Yeah.
So
Why do they just like knock on the door or something? I don't,
go in the back. He has the key.
Yeah.
No, this is way more exciting because it's the 80s. You got to be big. You got to be loud. I mean, there's so many loud explosions at this point and so many near-death experiences. They just have to keep it going. And then the house is the only other location they've really established.
Fighting in the streets of LA with automatic weapons, just firing back and forth through traffic. Totally makes sense. Totally realistic.
They're in this nightclub with all these Chinese people and they're shooting Uzis.
Yeah. They just kill the guy at the bar. They kill several people on the way out.
But people aren't getting up or noticing or doing anything.
Yeah, I know.
The Uzi is in every movie. It looks cool. Israeli soldiers used it. They designed it. Is it a good gun?
It's a good what you call a submachine gun. But the advent of modern body armor has made that type of gun totally obsolete. It shoots an Uzi shoots a 9mm round, so any police vest will stop that, or any regular soldier vest will stop that. It's just not really useful anymore.
AR-15 blows right through a police vest.
Yes. You need plate armor to protect from a rifle round.
Right. So it's just an Uzi just firing 9mm bullets.
Super fast.
No different than the bullets you'd have in your Glock or whatever.
The Riggs gun is a 9mm also.
Yeah. So 15 rounds.
Yeah. My dad has that gun. It's illegal. My dad has that gun. But that magazine with 15 rounds is illegal in California. You can only have 10 rounds in a magazine.
Yeah.
Cops can have whatever, obviously.
So I guess like in Cocaine Cowboys, those guys were firing Uzis in public. So it was a thing that stupid drug dealers had.
Sure.
So these guys are like sophisticated military. They're not supposed to be, And
in the 80s, you could get an Uzi. You could still own an Uzi. You could buy one if they weren't illegal. I don't know if you could have them automatic, but you could still get Uzis back then. You can still get an Uzi now. It's just there's a California compliant Uzi that you have to get. It looks like shit. You can't have the folding stock and all that shit.
But when did automatic weapons become illegal?
That I don't know. Maybe with
90s?
the assault weapons ban. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't know if automatic weapons were ever legal in California. I don't really know.
Right. But they're federally illegal still.
You have to get like a special stamp, and you have to register it with the federal government. And there's this whole thing you got to go through to get one. Just like if you want to get a silencer.
So they have, but people buy like modifiers and shit.
Yes.
Bump stocks. That's what the guy used in Vegas. So
Yeah.
criminals, it's very hard to these gun laws. It just seems like all crime has evolved to be to the point where they're like, AR-15 is the best gun. It's the easiest gun. It's so easy.
You can just go to Walmart or Dick's Sporting Goods and buy one right off the shelf. You could get them at Big Five till recently.
What's the round?
223, 556. The 223 is the common one.
Yeah, that's insane. There's so much gunpowder, and there's like a nice little bullet in front, and the range is just
1,000 yards. I don't
know. Come on, but like within your average idiot can hit anyone in 50 yards, 100 yards.
Oh yeah,
50.
yeah.
So Uzi, you had your moment. It looks cool though, the Uzi strap.
Yes. Just like the MP5 was super popular back then, the one where you slap the front of it like the guys had in Die Hard and almost every other 80s movie. You have the Uzi or the MP5.
MP5, you get GoldenEye for Nintendo 64. So you could say I'm very experienced with that gun. Yeah,
pistol
grip.
End, you have them fighting in that half circle, and what we forgot is the awesome closing credits song. That song is fucking awesome. Bitchin' is what I would say.
Lethal Weapon, the song.
Power ballad.
Before that, though, there is that one moment where they're like, "You're not worth it." So then he's getting arrested, and they're leaving. But then Gary Busey tries to grab a cop's gun and shoot them, and this is exactly the same as the ending of Die Hard. Yeah. There's no difference.
It's exactly the same as when they went to the house in the Hollywood Hills. It's the same thing.
Yes.
The shotgun guy, it's the same thing over again.
It's like he has to die. If he doesn't die, the movie is not good.
Of course. You need closure.
We can't just have him get arrested.
And where did the general get killed in the torture chamber? He fell down.
He blew up. His car flipped over.
Yeah,
there are three grenades.
Yeah.
Blew up, killed him.
Yeah, I remember that. There was one last trope too when Riggs comes over for Christmas dinner.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I think your daughter likes me. He's like, I'll kill you. You touch her, I'll kill you.
And then like his dog goes in, the cat starts making noise.
Like, his best friend, the dog, who you just saw one other time at the beginning of the movie.
These two guys, it's Christmas. This is a beautiful Christmas tale. Two men, they become bonded forever.
Yeah, I forgot that this was a Christmas movie.
The shedding of blood, the killing of their enemies.
They become lethal weapons.
Together. Yeah. It's a love story, really. I mean, this is a love story.
It's a bromance.
It's a bromance. It's literally a romantic comedy. They hate each other. They get along. They have sex.
Best buds. Who's the bottom? Murtaugh, for sure.
Danny Glover.
Of course.
Come on.
He's from San Francisco anyways.
Yes, he's there's no bottoms in Australia. So, what did we learn? It's just
we learned that you can make a fun little action movie with cops like that, which you can't seem to make anymore. I don't know why it would not be popular now. You can't make an R-rated fun cop movie
where they break all the law and they abuse people and they torture people before arresting them.
Yeah, you can't really do that anymore.
We learned the big lesson for me is if you're a bad guy, don't attract attention. This is a classic lesson. We learned this in The Wire. The dead bodies bring police. Gotta stop killing people with your helicopter sniper shots through the eggnog.
Learn the same thing in you don't want to be flashy. You don't want to be flashy, just like American Gangster had the same problem. Reward that.
Insulate yourself. I mean, Gary Busey, this colonel guy, like, why are you still doing this day to day?
Have underlings. That's how you move up.
Yeah, you gotta, franchise.
Yes.
Rich dad, smart dad. You gotta be earning money in your sleep. You can't be running around and I mean, your helicopter fuel money must be crazy. Limos.
Yeah.
Gotta have
Paying all
the
those guys.
You notice there's no like SUV, right?
There was like a Blazer. There's like Bronco or Blazer.
But is the limo has been totally replaced by the SUV.
Oh, you mean in modern times?
Yeah, the hostage negotiation thing. Like they would have a black Escalade or something.
Sure. Black bulletproof Suburban.
So what's the rating? What do we give this? I enjoy this movie, but I was getting pretty bored with the action towards the end. It was not really working as well as the character stuff. I give it 3.5 stars.
That many? I was gonna give it like 2, maybe 2 3/4. I mean, if 2.5 is average, I guess I liked it a little bit more than average.
It's a little better than average, in my opinion, and the characters, the acting, that helps. It's completely dumb. It's so fucking dumb. But it's as far as like, it's not as funny as Beverly Hills Cop.
No.
It's not as cool as 48 Hours. Not as funny either. But this is like the beginning of the end. This is kind of like we've had 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop. We've had the black and white cop and the white cop. And then this one.
Turner and Hooch.
Yeah, then it turns into Turner and Hooch. It gets like really dumb. I mean, that's the one problem why you don't have these cop movies anymore is they've been done to death.
Kindergarten Cop.
There's nothing left. Yeah, Kindergarten Cop. It was a great genre, but like the Marvel superhero movie thing, it's like after a while you've seen it all, you've done it all. You can't make it bigger. It just gets ridiculous.
Well, and the limitations that you're talking about, how now you can't show cops in a bad light. Every cop movie has to be like propaganda for the police. You can't show anything gritty, or you can't make cops bad guys or doing stuff that it's illegal. It sucks. Maybe the last one was Bad Lieutenant, Port of New Orleans or something, and that
I mean that's ridiculous. But like, there's I guess Die Hard comes after this, and then everybody likes Die Hard. Everybody likes Die Hard. Die Hard does some new stuff. More action though. Die Hard is more like Lethal Weapon than fucking Dirty Harry. Oh, yeah. We got
Die Hard was starting the lone cop hero.
Well, that's Dirty Harry. I mean, that's Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
But it has, unlike like Dirty Harry, the big action scene, there's like a bus full of kids. Mm-hmm. And then there's like a scene where I think he just jumps off an overpass and gets on the bus or something. These aren't big action scenes. These aren't amazing shootouts. Dirty Harry, we have machine guns, we have buildings blowing up, we have hostages. It's loud. I remember a lot of people made a big deal about Die Hard. They said it had the most realistic gun sound effects.
Okay.
They recorded all new gun sound effects because like apparently there were these libraries of audio with like bing, pow, like these there were these old gun sound effects that they had been using for decades that nobody had bothered to update. Apparently, the first version of Scarface was full of these shitty sounding guns.
Like leftover from like westerns or something.
Yes. Army movies, 60s movies, TV. So, yeah, I guess Die Hard, it was like, it just got slicker. The real death of this genre was Last Action Hero. That movie was so dumb and the jokes were so bad. And he's
I totally
playing a
forgot he
cop.
was a cop. Yeah, I totally forgot he was a cop in that movie.
He's a cop in I guess he's a cop in the movie.
Yeah.
And of course, Die Hard with a Vengeance was good, but it just kind of got it was harder and harder for them to make these.
I don't think we needed 4 lethal weapons. That's,
Speed, he's a cop. Speed was a good throwback. A little more character based, a little more. No, I mean I guess it's high concept. It's a fucking bus that if it slows down, it blows up. Everybody loves Speed.
What about Speed 2?
Cruise Control. That movie's. I tried watching that on HBO Max a few years ago, and man, I could get only an hour into it. It's so incredibly bad. So incredibly bad. So don't watch Speed 2.
Don't watch Lethal Weapons 2 through 4.
No, maybe 2. There's some fun stuff in 2 to promote the community, but after that, it just gets lame.
Is 2 the one where Riggs thinks Murtaugh is like crooked on the take, and then it turns out his wife is writing those novels or something?
I think that's 3, but who knows? I don't fucking know.
They all kind of morph together in their shittiness.
All the saxophone and the guitar.
Yeah.
But yeah. Lethal Weapon 87. Oh, Mike, there's one last thing I wanted to say.
What?
I'm getting too old to take a shit.
That's funny.
What if he said that like once and that was his catchphrase? Like, oh man, I'm getting too old to take a shit.
There's very little swearing in this movie now that I think about it.
I don't want a blue humor.
No.
Did you like that part where he's on fire, Mel Gibson's on fire, and then Danny Glover's trying to pat him out, and then Mel Gibson's like, "What are you, a fag?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, you're on fire."
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Gotta have your gay jokes. All these movies have some anti-gay or homophobic humor. I keep saying like the comedies ruined it, but they were doing the dumb comedies from the beginning. Police Academy,
Naked Gun.
I mean, it's just. I wonder what we do next. Video games.
There was always that Ready Player One, a couple video game movies. I don't know, maybe. Are you going to make Call of Duty into a movie, a Halo movie?
Seems like Call of Duty's like on the down. It's dying.
What's replaced it?
What was the big game this year? I mean, Grand Theft Auto is huge, of course, but like,
if there's a new first-person shooter that's top of the charts, let me know. I'll try it.
I think multiplayer games are not doing well overall.
Huh. That's all I play.
I think they're just out. They're trying to outspend each other, and now they're having difficulty being popular. It's like there's only so many people who can play these fucking games all the time and do loot boxes and buy guns, skins. Mm-hmm. It's just like, okay, I don't want to invest in this forever.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't spent $1 on Call of Duty in 5-6 years. Maybe back in the Black Ops days.
So yeah, save your money. Don't buy that shit. Don't buy skins. All right.
My nephew and my daughter are crazy about that shit. I don't know where they get it from. Watching YouTube videos or something. You gotta buy. My nephew harps on me to get the battle pass. You got to buy the battle pass. You got to buy. It comes with all the skins. Like, I don't give a shit.
Skins. Remember when we were kids, you had to play GoldenEye and you had to unlock Odd Job yourself with
Yeah.
skill. With skill.
Yes, yes, yes.
There was no DLC for GoldenEye.
No,
It was all there on the cartridge, everything.
just got to unlock it.
You had to unlock it. You had to earn it. You had to work for it.
Yeah.
And it was so hard, I couldn't fucking beat the game on Double O Agent. So the control center on Double O Agent, impossible. I mean, it's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's so long. I could never, that was the only one I couldn't beat. I had to cheat. I had to use Game Shark.
For N64?
Yes. Yes, I did.
I don't think I had that.
I could not beat Control Center on Double O Agent, but then I did, and then I got Egyptian. I got it all. I got
Temple.
the Temple, fucking Moonraker level lasers, everything. So I gotta say, Mike, I'm getting too old for this shit.
You don't play a round of double. But they redid GoldenEye, but they took out the multiplayer, right? Which is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I mean, Nintendo doesn't want them to do that.
Yeah.
Nintendo's an asshole company.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Well, good night. Thank
Right
you.
on,
Be
man.
well.
You too, sir. You have a good one, all right?
Everybody, make sure your heroin is clean and don't jump off any buildings.
Don't give it to any white women.
When you lose your love and it makes your life turn cold, when it tears you apart, your heart and soul just can't go on. When love's alive, it sets you free. When it's gone, it's plain to see how even love can become a lethal weapon. When you lose